Hello, planet Earth. Welcome to my YouTube channel. We're at IDK, my BFF Jill 730.
Jill 730.
I'm Preston L. Young, wishing you warm salutations and congratulations as always. You've made your way to the Buffyngton Post.
Oh, I'm so pleased.
Today it's time for another Buffyngton Post recap and review, this time for Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 11, issue number 11, it's Revelations. So the traditional cover is always fine, but I was really excited by the variant cover because hello, Megan Levins is out and Rebecca Isaacs is back in, and after last month's Megan Levins turning Faith into like a freaking monster, I was so happy to see Rebecca Isaacs back. Thank you, Rebecca Isaacs. Thank you, Dark Horse. Thank you, Buffy. But of course, before we get into this...
Previously on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
At the very beginning of the season, this dragon came into San Francisco, it brought a tsunami with it, thousands of people died, and there was widespread panic and, magic fear-mongering going on. The government was like, oh, I know what we can do. So all of the magical creatures and witches got rounded up and sent into these internment camps.
We're rounding them up in a very humane way, in a very nice way, and they're going to be happy because they want to be legalized. And by the way, I know it doesn't sound nice.
Buffy actually went with Spike and Willow into the internment camps, and shortly thereafter they found out that there was this great big government conspiracy to suck all of the magic out of everyone in the nation, and so they had to get out by giving up their powers willingly, and with the help of Faith, they were able to break back into the not-an-internment camp, retrieve their powers, free everyone from the not-an-internment camp, and then they went about trying to get to the bottom of the government situation. So last issue, they went to this base of operations called the Pandora Project that's being run by the US government, only to find out that what they're doing in there is, not cool. They are mixing, magic and technology and biology in very fucked up and scary ways that even the Initiative wouldn't have thought to do. On top of all that, they found out that these satellites with these power-sucking machines attached to them were about to come out.
Right about now. That's pretty much what you need to know, and so without further ado, let's jump into Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 11, issue number... Hello, planet Earth. Welcome to my YouTube channel. We're at IDK, my BFF Jill 730.
Jill 730.
I'm Preston L. Young, wishing you warm salutations and congratulations as always. You've made your way to the Buffyngton Post.
Oh, I'm so pleased.
Today it's time for another Buffyngton Post recap and review, this time for Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 11, issue number 11, it's Revelations. So the traditional cover is always fine, but I was really excited by the variant cover because hello, Megan Levins is out and Rebecca Isaacs is back in, and after last month's Megan Levins turning Faith into like a freaking monster, I was so happy to see Rebecca Isaacs back. Thank you, Rebecca Isaacs. Thank you, Dark Horse. Thank you, Buffy. But of course, before we get into this...
Previously on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
At the very beginning of the season, this dragon came into San Francisco, it brought a tsunami with it, thousands of people died, and there was widespread panic and, magic fear-mongering going on. The government was like, oh, I know what we can do. So all of the magical creatures and witches got rounded up and sent into these internment camps.
We're rounding them up in a very humane way, in a very nice way, and they're going to be happy because they want to be legalized. And by the way, I know it doesn't sound nice.
Buffy actually went with Spike and Willow into the internment camps, and shortly thereafter they found out that there was this great big government...
So our issue opens up with Buffy, Willow, Spike, and Dawn, and Faith talking about the fact that they've gotten to the bottom of the situation, and hello, just like I've been saying all season, it looks like Ophelia Reyes has been behind everything. They don't have much time to do something about this whole power-sucking satellite situation, and so they go directly to the Pandora Project, which, by the way, is guarded by tanks. Willow blasts them all into the Pandora Project headquarters, and they come under fire by, the guards and also the tanks. So everybody gets into the base without actually killing any of the humans who are admittedly just doing their jobs, and as Buffy, Willow, Faith, and Spike move into the main part, Xander and Dawn are left outside to do something with their cell phones. So our Scoobies confront Ophelia Reyes, who is trying to call for backup as they stormed in, and they're like, "We know you were behind everything," and she's like, "You are so dumb. I'm not behind all this." Wham bam poof, they all get blasted by magic, and it turns out that the US press secretary is like all full of magical mojo, and apparently she's been behind the whole thing. So this press secretary, she's not very talented at magic, she's not like Willow, but she decided that she could make herself super powerful by messing with her body, and it turns out that she's turned herself into this cyborg situation that can house magic through technology, and it's crazy. Willow sets this crazy bitch on fire, but that's not really working, and she's basically gonna suck all the power out of Buffy and everybody else, and everybody! So this nut job, because she never had actual power like Willow, she didn't have any actual talent, she decided, well, I can enhance my body to house all this mystical energy, and then I'm gonna take all the mystical energy away from everyone else, siphon it into myself, and just rule the world. So after she takes care of Spike, Willow comes in and starts handling this bitch. Which would have been all well and good had this bitch not been the one who summoned the Shenlong Dragon in the first place, and then she summons it again to, like, distract us. That's right, the Shenlong Dragon is back for round 2, but only this time, Dawn and Xander are recording on their phones the fact that this crazy bitch is the one who summoned it in the first place. Punchline, Dragon. Buffy says, Willow, you're the only one strong enough to go against the dragon, so you need to get out of here. And Willow says, you're not strong enough to fight off cyborg crazy witch bitch. But then they decide that Willow can reverse what she did at the end of Chosen. She can reverse that spell and take all of the power from thousands of women all over the world, all that Slayer power, and put it directly into Buffy so that she'll be like a fucking uber duper super magic Slayer Buffy. And they actually do this. They take the power out of all the Slayers in the world, including Faith, and they put it into Buffy and the Scythe. So Buffy comes in with the Scythe, swinging, and she can actually cut through magic, which is like, whoa. And now things aren't looking too great for the press secretary. And Spike, Xander, Faith, and Dawn are just standing around because they can't really do anything against this uber cyborg bitch, and hello, Faith has no magic anymore! Willow has temporarily ensnared the Shenlong Dragon thing in this like magic net thing, but it's not going to hold for long, and she needs everybody to like evacuate the area because hello, we're about to have another tsunami on our hands. So the press secretary has gone straight armor from Astonishing X-Men, like put this like magical mystical armor all around herself. She takes Buffy's scythe and she's like, let's see what I can do with my new power. Maybe I can break the source of your power in half. And Buffy says, see, that's the problem with you. You want to know what power you actually have, but I already know because I've had it my entire life, basically. And with the scythe, Buffy literally breaks the magical armor around press secretary bitch. But she's got one more trick up her sleeve. She goes to the room where they keep the super power-sucking machine, and she points it at the Shenlong Dragon and sucks the power out of it. So now, Press Secretary Cyborg Bitchface has the power of the Shenlong Dragon, and that's where we end the issue. Man, I didn't even know what to ring the bell about this month. Like, what are we doing? So not only is Ophelia Reyes not the mastermind behind this entire situation, but it turns out to be the press secretary who doesn't have a name. Like, she's not even named. She's just this nameless cyborg crazy bitch. I don't get it. It's like, it's fine if you want to say something about Sean Spicer and Sarah Huckabee Sanders, like, go right ahead, like, say what you want, but to not even give this woman a name, it just, I don't know, it just kind of bothered me, like, the press secretary, whoop-de-fucking-do, like, I don't know, I was expecting, like, somebody was suggesting that maybe Amy was behind all this, and I was like, no, Amy's not smart enough for this, but it would have made more sense because we know Amy's name, you know? But I think you all, like, if you're a follower, like, if you've been with me, you know what my real problem and, like, takeaway from this issue is, right? Faith is no longer a vampire slayer. I mean, she could be a vampire slayer, but she's not, like, the slayer. You know what I mean? Like, they took her power away from her. They took the power of all of these women all over the world, and they put it, like, right back into Buffy. And that, it just undermines so much of everything that the show worked for. Like, Buffy spent her entire life being the only one, like, it's on you. And then, like, Kendra came along, and then whoop-de-doo, she died. And then Faith came along, and then whoop-de-doo, she's fucking evil and crazy. And then, like, Faith, like, finally got back on track, and Buffy realized, along with Faith, that they don't have to be the only ones sharing this responsibility. Buffy's series finale, as far as the television series is concerned, is about, you can have this. You can be a part of this. And she allows for all of these women in this crazy world that she lives in to share her burden, to share her responsibility. And now, all of that is gone. Kennedy, Satsu, like, all of them. Leah, Rowena, all of the Slayers in Deep Scan, like, all of the Slayers all over the world have just been reduced to being normal people. Which I guess is great, since everybody's scared of magic people, but what the fuck? Like,
say it with us. Swipe or no swiping.
I enjoyed this issue, but when Buffy and Willow had this heart-to-heart about how we're gonna take all the power away from everyone who isn't Buffy, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Faith the Vampire Slayer is a real thing, and it really shouldn't have affected Faith, is my problem with it, because the spell that Willow cast at the end of season 7 was to activate Slayers. Like, Faith already had her power, and technically she's the active Slayer because Buffy super died after Faith was called and no new Slayers were called. And so it would take Faith dying to call the next Slayer, so why doesn't all this power go into friggin', I don't know. Oh, it's crazy. I'm so pissed off about that. And you know what? Peter Oliver, you've been saying it since day 1 of season 10, or season 11 rather. You've been saying, I think that the way season 11's gonna go is Willow is gonna have to take all that power and, like, take it back. And you were right. And I kept thinking that was crazy, because why create a world of Slayers and do nothing with them and just take it back? Like, oop, just kidding. I don't understand. Like, I was really upset by this issue. It's like, it's one thing to have this press secretary with no name. I mean, it was really cool the way that she, like, experimented with her body and, like, had all these, like, robot parts as a way to, like, store this mystical energy and expel it. Like, that was all really interesting. But give her a name. Give her a name. On top of that, you want to take one of my absolute favorite characters in this universe that you've created, Joss Whedon, and you want to take her power away? Oh, it really pissed me off, man. It's crazy making. Like I said, like, the mantra for season 11 is, like, shit's cray in the Buffyverse. Like, shit is legitimately cray in the Buffyverse. I don't know what to do about it either. I mean, the fight looks great. The fight looks great. And I feel like if we had any kind of history with this person, if we had any kind of context for who she is and, like, what she's about, aside from, like, what she villainy monologues to us when we meet her, it would mean something, but it just kind of doesn't. I don't know how much I like this issue, you guys. I mean, obviously, I'm upset about it, and it's just like last season, in season 10, like, I was really upset about the fact that Xander died, but he wasn't going to stay dead, but, like, now, I don't know. They could keep Faith's power from her. And I'm so upset. I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know what to do with my life. This bitch has all the power from the dragon now, which is like, I mean, like, spoiler alert, Buffy's going to win. Like, the Scoobies are going to figure out a way to stop all of this, but just because I know that doesn't mean that like, this is bad. Like, taking Faith's power away is bad. Like, that's my main takeaway from this entire issue. Like, what did you do to Faith? Now, I do love when Buffy cuts through the magic, and she's like, how? And Buffy goes, girl power. Lots of it. I thought that was a really funny line. I thought it was real cute, like, go you. And I like that they did bring back the dragon, because that's kind of been a loose end, like, what the fuck is up with the dragon? And I guess since she's sucked all the power out of it, it won't be a problem in the future, right? But still, like, shitty. And I don't know, like, there are all these other people whose power has been sucked out of them. Are they going to return it to them along with all the other Slayers? Like, what is the actual deal? They need to, like, pop that book out real quick and start writing away about how everybody got their magic back, only now it was fine. I don't know, man. One thing I did like was Xander and Dawn, like, using their phones to record everything that's going on, because, like, that's the only reason that the Black Lives Matter movement exists. Like people now have the entire globe in their pockets. You walk around with a supercomputer in your purse or your pocket or your what the heck ever every day. And this is why we have things like the Black Lives Matter movement, rather. It's because we're all suddenly responsible for making sure that information is there. And I love that Xander and Dawn get to do that. They're like, oh, see, she said these words, and then whoop-de-doo, there's a dragon over there. Hello, everybody. I don't know, man. It's... I basically like what they're doing here, with the exception of what they've done to the Slayer heritage and the Slayer line as it is post season 7. I mean, we've spent 9 years in these comics. We've spent 9 years in a world where Slayers are everywhere, and now we don't. And that's kind of frightening for me, because I kind of feel like it's a lack of faith in the property. I feel like a lack of faith in the property. Hey, pun. Jesus. Like, it seems like they want everything to go back to basics the way that they claimed everything was going to go back to basics in season 9. And I mean, what does this mean for Billy? Because he didn't technically have, like, Slayer strength, but he did have the Slayer dreams. And so, does he not get the dreams anymore? Now, keep in mind, Buffy hasn't had any dreams. Buffy has had no dreams of, like, the Slayer dreams that we understand since season 9. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know what we're doing. Like, I don't know, man. What was good here? I mean, the light show was great. Like, the fight between Buffy and this nameless press secretary, it was great. Like, everything's bright and showy and flashy, and this bitch is a cyborg on top of everything else. Like, it's fun stuff. Everybody looks great. The stuff with Willow and her magic looks great. Like, the use of color is amazing. Like, everything looks top notch. This is like one of the best looking seasons of Buffy that we've had, and I think you'd be hard pressed to find somebody to argue that. But oh gosh, it's a fucking shit show in the Buffyverse, man. And now this bitch has all this dragon power. And like I said, I know it's going to get resolved, but I just don't know where we go from here. Like, where do we go from here? Like, I don't know. You tell me, Planet Earth. Like, it's crazy. And I do like the idea of, like, Buffy, she's like, you've been sitting behind a desk. You don't know what power is. I know what power is. I've had it my whole life. Like, you're trying to figure out what power is. I know it because I have it, and I use it, and well. I don't know, man. It's just... I just don't know. It's like, I don't hate this issue. I hate what happens to characters in this issue, especially the characters who are off-page, like Anahid, and all the Slayers that we've gotten to know over the years. What's happening to them? I hate that we didn't, like, see Kennedy, like, what's wrong with me? I don't know, man. We've got a lot to clean up and not a lot of time to do it, because the season 11 finale is next month, right before Halloween, which is like my favorite holiday. Oh god, it's fucking crazy, man. I don't know. Let me know what you thought of this issue in the comment section down below, Planet Earth. I'm Preston L. Young. I hope you're having a great 2017 so far. I don't know if you're still a Slayer or not. Let me know. Oh, it's crazy. Anyway, you can come right back here to the Buffyngton post for Buffy the Vampire Slayer reviews, Angel and Faith reviews, Buffyverse discussions on the other Slayers, and more. Have yourself a great day today, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
In our darkest hours, we have all asked for some angel to come, sprinkle his dust all around. But all our crying voices, they can't turn it around. You had some crazy conversations of your own. We got rules and maps and guns in our backs, but we still can't just behave ourselves. Even if to save our own lives, we are a brutal kind. Whoa.
Okay. My BFF. Joe? 730.